Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Bill Spencer has never been one to shy away from making life-altering decisions, and in the week of September 22nd, his role in shaping Luna's future is set to explode in ways no one saw coming. Bill has been circling the situation with careful interest, weighing what kind of involvement he should have, and viewers are about to see him decide Luna's fate once and for all. Luna has already been tangled in the drama of her mother Poppy's past, Lee's judgment, and her own heartbreak over RJ. Now, Bill inserts himself in the most direct way possible, and his choice is going to reverberate across Los Angeles, causing fallout for the Forresters, the Logans, the Finnegans, and, of course, the Spencers. Bill has been unusually protective of Poppy and her daughter, but this week he shifts gears. The question everyone's asking is whether Bill will use his influence to lift Luna up or tear her down. Bill has a history of seeing people's vulnerabilities and using them to his advantage, and Luna is no exception. After weeks of speculation about Luna's future at Forrester Creations and whether she belongs in the inner circle of the Forresters, Bill steps in to make his voice heard. He isn't subtle either. He confronts Poppy, confronts Lee, and makes it clear that what happens to Luna will not be left solely to the judgment of the Forresters. For Luna, this is devastating and exhilarating all at once. She's still reeling from the way RJ pulled back after the betrayal with Zend, even though she was drugged and manipulated. Luna has been scrambling to explain herself, but RJ's inability to fully forgive her has left her hanging in limbo. Now, Bill decides to intervene, but his involvement may not be as straightforward as Luna hopes. If Bill declares himself her champion, he could give her power and stability she never imagined. But if he sides with Lee and others who believe Luna is a liability, he could crush her budding career and push her out of the Forrester orbit entirely. Lee, meanwhile, is absolutely furious. She's been warning Finn, Poppy, and everyone else in earshot that Poppy and Luna bring nothing but shame and chaos. This week, Finn finally loses patience and blasts Lee for her constant judgments. Finn is tired of Lee inserting herself into every part of his life, including his marriage and his relationships with people he cares about. Lee thinks she's protecting Finn, but her constant criticism of Poppy and Luna only pushes Finn further away. When Finn finally unleashes, it's raw and emotional, leaving Lee stunned. He accuses her of being cruel, controlling, and hypocritical. For Finn, this is about more than just Luna. It's about Lee never letting go of the past and never allowing him to form his own opinions. The argument between Finn and Lee is one of the most intense mother-son clashes we've seen in years. Finn feels that Lee is trying to destroy any chance of peace in his marriage to Steffi by stirring up outside drama. Finn doesn't want to choose sides between his wife and his mother, but Lee's refusal to back down puts him in a corner. This battle spills over into Steffi's world, as she watches Finn grapple with loyalty to Lee versus his need to stand up for what he believes is right. Finn's anger at Lee could push him closer to Poppy and Luna, and that's a direction Lee will never accept. For Poppy, the week is filled with shocks she isn't ready for. Bill's sudden control over Luna's future terrifies her. She wants Luna to succeed at Forrester Creations, but she knows how quickly that dream could be destroyed if Bill decides she isn't worthy. Poppy has leaned on Bill in the past, but she realizes this week that she may have underestimated how much power he holds. If Bill has decided he wants to dictate Luna's career, there's little Poppy can do to stop him. On top of that, she is blindsided when Lee turns even more vicious, digging up pieces of Poppy's past that could wreck her stability once again. Poppy has always tried to present herself as carefree and independent, but when Lee brings up long-buried secrets, she's rattled to the core. These secrets may involve choices Poppy made years ago, choices about Luna's upbringing, her father, and the way Poppy survived when she was estranged from her family. Lee is determined to use this information to prove that Poppy should never have been allowed near the Forresters in the first place. This creates an atmosphere of dread for Poppy, who worries that she can't protect her daughter from what's coming. Luna, caught in the middle, begins to spiral. She has Bill on one side, holding her future in his hands. She has Lee attacking her legitimacy and worth. She has her mother unraveling under the pressure of old mistakes coming back to haunt them. And she has RJ, distant and cold, still unsure if he can ever truly move past what happened with Zend. Luna has always been portrayed as bright, hopeful, and eager to make her mark in fashion. But this week she's crushed under the weight of expectations and betrayals. RJ's hesitation is another central part of this week's story. While Luna desperately wants to fix things between them, RJ isn't sure he can fully trust her again. Even though he knows she was drugged, he feels betrayed by the image of her in Zen's arms. Bill's involvement adds another layer, as RJ feels manipulated and pressured by the older man's attempt to define Luna's path. RJ loves Luna, but his hesitation leaves her vulnerable to whatever decision Bill makes. Meanwhile, Zen's name continues to linger in every conversation. Although he hasn't been at the center of the spoilers this week, his presence looms large. Every time Luna and RJ try to talk, Zen's betrayal hangs over them. Lee uses Zend as ammunition, saying that Luna's lapse proves she doesn't belong with RJ or at Forrester. Bill has to consider Zend as well, because any decision about Luna's career will inevitably impact Zend's future, too. The push and pull of these storylines create a storm that no one can fully control. Bill, for once, isn't thinking only as a ruthless businessman. His personal feelings for Poppy complicate everything. If he protects Luna, it could be seen as favoritism. If he destroys her, he risks losing Poppy's affection and alienating his own sons, who have begun to show some concern for Luna. Liam, Wyatt, and even Will could be drawn into this drama if Bill's choice ignites a war between families. Confrontation with Lee could also spill into unexpected places. Steffi has been trying to hold her family together while still recovering from her own trauma with Sheila, but this war between Finn and Lee threatens to break her down. She wants Finn to stand strong, but she doesn't want him to burn bridges with Lee forever. However, Finn's rage this week suggests that something inside him has finally snapped. He's tired of being the quiet, obedient son. This version of Finn is fiery, protective, and ready to call his mother out publicly. As Lee doubles down, her relationship with Finn becomes more fragile than ever. She may turn to other allies, perhaps even Ridge or Brooke, to validate her position and warn them about the dangers of keeping Poppy and Luna close. Lee thrives on being respected as a voice of reason, but Finn's anger could leave her isolated and desperate. Poppy's shock is not limited to Bill and Lee. She also faces a surprising betrayal from someone she trusted, which rattles her faith in building a new life. It's possible that her shock comes from Luna herself, who may push back against her mother's constant reassurances and demand answers about her father. Luna has always tiptoed around that subject, but with Bill now in control, she may start to demand clarity about her origins. That question, who Luna's father really is, could explode this week, or at least begin to surface as a dangerous threat. As the week unfolds, everything builds toward Bill making a declaration. Will he decide that Luna belongs at Forrester, giving her the backing she needs to thrive? Or will he side with Lee and others, shutting Luna out and leaving her to wonder where she fits in? Bill's word is powerful, and the fact that he's inserting himself in such a decisive way means his choice will leave lasting consequences. By the end of the week of September 22nd, viewers can expect emotions to be at an all-time high. Bill's authority, Finn's fury, Lee's cruelty, Poppy's unraveling, and Luna's fragile hope all converge into a dramatic, explosive series of confrontations. The fate of Luna is no longer in her hands. It's in Bill's. And his decision could either cement her place in the Forrester legacy or destroy her dreams forever. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.